Good morning and happy Friday. This is my pre-New York analysis, April 29th, 2022. So, as we can see here, price did push back up yesterday in Asian session. This was the push up yesterday in the second half of New York session. Then Asian, let me see here. No, this was the beginning of Asian session here. This is the H1 time frame. Pushed back up in Asian and then kind of hovered around here in London. I didn't get into this trade. I marked it off. I wasn't up at that time. That would have been really an optimal entry for me and for what I'm looking for as far as entries go. This would have potentially been a good entry. Looks like so far it would have been a good entry here at around the end of the 2 o'clock hour. Again, I wasn't awake. Got up probably about 4 o'clock, so more or less here. I was hoping and anticipating for price to push back again to this weekly level here. I was thinking it was going to push at least a little bit higher than this, but it looks like it kind of ran out of gas here at this daily support and resistance level, and now it's beginning to push back down to continue with the overall directional bias of bearish, definitely. So looks like price is dropping as of now. We're about to close out right now the 1 hour. We got 5 minutes left in the 1 hour. So far, it's looking pretty strong as far as a bearish push goes right now. If we drop down to the M15, it's pushing down. It looks like it's running into some resistance here. Go down to the M5. Give it some more context here. So on the M5, just in more detail, it looks like price is running into resistance here. I'll mark this level off here with this random line. I'll say approximately about there, roughly. Oh, oops. Okay. I will say about there, roughly. Mark that level off there. So, yeah, running into some resistance here at this 33,789, 33,790 level. If it breaks below this, definitely I would say it's game on to just continue dropping. I mean, at least drop down to this daily level, 33,577, if not down to this zone, anywhere from 33,425 to 33,200, roughly, where my target has been previously throughout the week, 33,200. So we'll see where it goes from here. As of right now, I'm not in a trade, and I don't see a good entry for me as of right now. For another potential entry, as far as if you're trying to get on a counter trend, maybe riding this back up to here potentially. I'm not going to do that. I think definitely the bearish trend overall is intact. Right now, it wouldn't be a bad entry. Even targeting the top of this structure here. If we drop, say 100, oops, I'd like to keep it at 100 points. So I'll put the stop a little bit tighter. It would make sense, and even still, I try to shoot for a little bit more than 1 to 2. Reason being is if I'm shooting for a 1 to 4 and then I'm trailing my stop, even if it retraces back, I still end up with a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3 versus if I'm going for a 1 to 2 and something happens and it starts to retrace, then I'm basically I'm just basically going to get stopped out or end up with very little. So this might be a potential short term little counter trend trade if you want to take a look at it. It looks like it's already getting invalidated though. This is the M15 and looks like it's already pushing down below that level, continuing with the bearish push. So yeah, and it just broke above that there. and on the M1 or excuse me, the M5, we got about a minute and a half left, and it's looking pretty weak. Like it's already pushing down below this level to continue this drop down. So I'm personally not going to go for it. Just a thought, just a potential, maybe something to consider. But I think definitely it's going to keep pushing back down. But what would it would take for me to get in if there was a push back up to this level one last time, pushing back up to anywhere this level or even this level. Maybe a push up with a wick down. Again, not trying to project too much, but that's what I would like to see at the very least at the top of this range here. If we were to push back up here, somewhere around this daily support and resistance of 34,000, roughly 34,000, roughly 34,015. Anywhere in there, I would get back in on the sell to ride it back down. But it might not do that. It looks pretty strong as of right now as a push to the downside. 27 seconds left in the 1 hour, looking pretty strong. So price might very well just continue dropping, and that's it. So if that's the case, I probably won't get in. I'll just wait for next week, but we will see what happens. We see, some conflicting information there on the M5 and the M15. Oh, look, it pushed below it. Now it's, kind of respecting that resistance. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, my game plan, I'm going to wait for price to push back up to either this level again, one last time, around 34,000, or push up to about 34,200, 34,150. Exhibit some signs of exhaustion, indication that price is going to reverse and continue back down into the overall bias, which definitely, again, still, in my opinion, is still bearish. I mean, it's still, this whole week we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Now it made a higher high based on this, but it still hasn't broken this level of structure. It would really need to break this level of structure very clearly, very, a break and a retest even before I would consider any real buys. But let me see. In the daily, yeah, I mean this could very well push down to here. I mean it could push up a little further, could just stay more or less right there. We'll see. On the weekly, we'll see where we end today. Could be potentially a higher low forming, potentially based off of this low as well, but we'll see on the weekly. And on the monthly, closing out about 10 hours left on the monthly, I would say it's still bearish. I mean, really. I mean, it's had a push up, but it's still, broke past this previous level of structure here, and now it's really testing this level. So we'll see where it closes out today. But, again, it's looking still bearish. Could be a case made for potentially exhaustion forming and pushing up. But we will see. We will see where that ends off today, and we'll see where we end up as far as the shorter term move, trying to get back in and ride it back down potentially. So with that, I will see you guys after NY session this evening. Have a good day.